Hi everyone! So I wanted to go through with you today based on the last video of the series that I did, which was how to connect and release tension from your body. I want to further that experience with you so that I can help you to not only feel the tension that you have in your body, but also how to kind of further release that and reconvert that back into energy. So it's kind of taking it one step further so that you can put your hands on your body and not only kind of understand where you're holding tension, whether it's in your shoulders or somewhere in your low back or your pelvis, but how to feel into it, how to connect with it, and how to move your body in a way that can productively release that tension so that your body is in so much more of a mode of regeneration that when you're sleeping in the evenings, your body is actually working through tension that you build up during the day rather than just getting stuck in a bit of a fight or flight mode so that the system isn't able to fully recharge and fully convert some of that tension back into energy for you to use in subsequent days. So I really want to go through that with you right now. So if you have somewhere where you can lie on the floor, ideally on the floor, so not a sofa or a bed. If you've got a yoga mat, use a yoga mat. I'm just going to do it straight on the carpet because it's just so much easier. And I'm going to show you how you can work with this. You're going to be lying on the floor with your knees bent and kind of making sure that you're fairly comfy. Now, what I'm first going to get you to do is just close your eyes, keep your hands just by your sides, palm up ideally so your shoulders can kind of relax on the floor. And you're just going to start by taking a few breaths. And you don't have to breathe anywhere in particular, just breathe naturally. And each out breath, make sure that you help your body or just allow your body to just relax more into the floor. So if you feel like you're holding any areas or you're holding your muscles a bit, just allow them to relax. And as you do that, as you relax, you might be aware of areas in your body that really they don't want to relax. So for me at the moment, I'm finding around my neck, I'm breathing and I'm trying to get it to just kind of drop more to the floor, but it just doesn't want to let go. And I can feel it much more at the top here, and it's just holding on and it just won't release. And the more I relax and the more I just let my body drop, the more I'm aware of tension between my shoulder blades. And there's definitely some tension around my pelvis underneath here, right underneath. So there's no right or wrong with this. This is just feeling into your own body and understanding what's there. And we all have tension. There's no secret to this. And it's about allowing your body to tune in and allowing your brain chance to really feel this so that you have a connection that your body can actually work with and do something about. So we'll just work with one area. So I'm going to work, for me, this top part of my neck is quite tense. So I would like to allow more connection to come here so that my brain and body can start to work through this when I'm sleeping this evening. So this is the idea of the exercise, is you're not necessarily doing anything now, but you're programming your system and your nervous system so that when you're actually sleeping and your body should be recharging and regenerating, that's actually when your body's going to be starting to work through these processes. So we're like creating a platform for that to actually happen much more efficiently and much more effective. So where you feel the tension, and it could be anywhere in your body, I want you to just try and put your hands on the tension. So anywhere. So like my fingers here are just going to be just gently on the tension in my neck. So if you feel it in the tops of your shoulders, you might want to put your hands here somewhere. If you feel it around your low back, you might just want to kind of sit on your hands like this. If you feel it in your hips, you might want to just put your hands here. So just find some general area of tension. So I'm going to start working at the top here. And what we're going to do is just put your fingers on the skin so that they're resting on the skin underneath where you feel the tension. And you're going to start by taking a deep breath in your nose, out your mouth, a nice slow deep breath. And try and direct the breath underneath your hands. So obviously there aren't any lungs in my neck, so it's a case of visualizing the breath coming right the way up to the tops of my lungs, as if it's going to go through my lungs and into my neck. So when you've done that a few times and you've brought the breath there, you'll start to notice there'll be, I want you to feel in the skin. So if I just show you. So on my skin here, I can put my fingers on my skin and I can move my skin in all different directions. So your fingers aren't kind of sliding over your skin like this, but they're just moving the skin. This is what's happening on the back of my neck. So when I go back to this position, when I'm feeling on the back of my neck here, I'm just moving the skin and I'm going to feel that there'll be a direction. So for me, when I move the skin up and when I move the skin out to the side, I can feel not only almost like the tension is building, and when I move them out to the side, I feel like the tension can release. So you want to just feel in each direction, so up, down, kind of diagonally as well. And just, it might take you a little while to feel this. So when I go down as well, I feel like the tension is building. When I go up, the tension builds. When I go out to the side, that feels quite nice. It feels like a release. When I go diagonally and up, that feels like a release. Kind of inwards feels quite tense. So just get a feeling in your body for where builds tension and where releases tension. And what we're going to do is we're going to work in all the directions that you feel like it feels easier when you move your skin in that direction. So for me, definitely it was out to the side. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to gently pull the skin out to the side. And that's all I'm doing, is I'm just holding some pressure. And what I suggest is each breath that you take, you just allow your body to relax as I keep pulling the skin out to the side. So I'm just pulling the skin as much as it'll go without digging into my body. And I'm just breathing normally. In my nose and out my mouth. And you might find, as I am now, that my body wants to just move and it wants to stretch a little bit. And then as I go back, I'm just going to go back and do the same thing. I'm just going to hold it there. I'm pulling the skin out to the side. And again, as I connect there and as I really bring my focus here, my neck just wants to move and stretch, and I get a bit of stretching that wants to happen in my shoulders as well. And you want to do this a few times so that you can feel this kind of moving and stretching happening, and then you'll kind of put your hands back there and it will feel like there's just more ease and there's less resistance. And it's almost like what you had felt before is gone. So then you would come back to your original position and just connecting with your body. And as you would breathe, it doesn't matter how you breathe, but as you would breathe in, allowing your body to relax, does that area have the same amount of resistance or is it less? Ideally it should be less, but if this is the first time doing it, don't worry if it isn't. It might just take a few times for you to connect with your body, so be patient with yourself. I've been doing this kind of thing for years, so my body's very used to doing this kind of thing. And just be with the experience. And once you've worked on one area, if you've got like a really great result, then of course you can move to another area of your body. So I had some tension between my shoulder blades. So if it's kind of in the back, almost where your hands can't really reach, I suggest working somewhere kind of on top of the body here, almost as if you were to put your hands directly to the point of tension in the back, it would be directly over the top of. And then if it's in your low back, you can of course put your hands somewhere down here, it's much easier to reach. And just do exactly the same thing. Just explore the movement and feel where it feels more resistant, where it feels more easy, and look to opening that up and creating that release. And I like to do this kind of thing, especially when I'm kind of lying horizontal in bed at the end of the day, because it helps my system really relax so that it's much more in a mode of regeneration, and it's going to be so much more productive during the night. Because it's so unfair of you to be busy all day and then just suddenly go, right, bedtime, and you just put your phone down and you just expect your body to just naturally drift off into sleep and just regenerate perfectly as if it just exactly was so adaptable and flexible. But quite often we're so busy at the end of the day and our brain is still wired and we find it difficult to switch off, and just so much harder and adaptable to get into that process of sleeping. This is such a great thing to just tune into your system. Like, where do you want your body to work when you're sleeping? Where do you want your system to heal and start resolving some of this tension? So if you can really get into that practice, you'll just find you'll have so much more energy in the morning. You'll wake up and you'll feel more revived, and you'll feel more alive, and you'll feel more alert and awake first thing. So you can just go forth in the day with so much more energy and productivity. So it's a really like another great tool to add to your toolbox, to just, where is some of this stored energy in the system? How can I re-liberate that back into the body so that you can then go forwards and really bring some of that energy into areas of your life that you really want to shift? So this is, like, as I said, a really good tool to just help your system and your nervous system go into a state of busy, into a state of regeneration, so that your system will be so much more productive in the evenings when you're sleeping. And you might find that just after having done that exercise, you just feel so much more uplifted, you feel more relaxed, you feel like maybe you'll be able to cope again, and whatever the busy craziness that's going on in your life, you might find that you're not building so much tension from it, or you're able to let things just flow over you so much easier rather than getting caught up in the chaos of it all. So give yourself time and just do these exercises. They're so great, and they just help your system really recharge. And our bodies are just energy, so energy will just change from one form to the other. So what form do you really want it to be in? Do you really want it to be bound and stuck in the body, or do you want it to be liberated so that you can direct into any area of your life that you choose at that moment? And quite often, so many of us don't have the energy to do certain endeavors, and we all have the energy, but it's just stuck in our body and we're not able to access it. So if you really have the tools to access some of that energy, you're just gonna be so much more, much better beacon to do various things in your life. So have a go and see, let me know in the comments how you get on. Give this video a like or share it with friends. Absolutely, just to share this message as far and wide as possible. I just want everyone to have so much more energy and be so much more enlightened as they go through life. This is just so much more effortless that way. And I wish everyone a lovely lockdown. Hope you're enjoying the sun and the weather, and I will see everybody soon. Bye.